Mrs. Nilüfer Bulut celebrates 20 years of TİKAD's impact on women's leadership globally. Mrs. Nilüfer Bulut, Chairwoman of the Turkish Business Women Association, TİKAD, recently celebrated the organization's 20th anniversary. She underscored TİKAD's 2 decades of dedication to advancing women's leadership across social, political, and economic spheres, both in Turkey and worldwide. Our mission has remained clear, Mrs. Bulut voiced, to elevate and advance the influence of women while making sure their voices are heard across society and their contributions recognized at every level. TİKAD has emerged as a platform for delivering insights and recommendations to Turkish Parliament members, international organizations, and the public. TİKAD's vision is to empower women both nationally and globally. Over the past 20 years, the organization has hosted numerous international events, including the 2009 conference, We Are All Mothers, supported by the U.S. Secretary of State, to spotlight the impact of wars on women worldwide. In 2013, TİKAD and Georgetown University co-hosted the impactful international conference, The Role of Business Women in Peacebuilding and Development in Washington, D.C. Mrs. Bulut's dedication to egalitarian reform has remained a steadfast connection in her works. At the World Economic Forum held in Davos, Switzerland this year, Mrs. Bulut reaffirmed that even in the face of environmental impacts and global conflicts, the contribution of eliminating gender inequality to national economies is emphasized on every platform through TİKAD. TİKAD has emphasized the vital role of women's leadership in shaping a better future. Mrs. Bulut affirms that increasing female representation in governance will boost global well-being and drive sustainable prosperity. TİKAD brightly advocates the uplifting of female voices in legislation, fostering a space where more clear representation is given to those who are often most voiceless in war, women in Gaza. As the chairwoman of Istanbul Galata University, Mrs. Bulut states that I believe that universities must create an effective system to prepare their students for life, and they must see that meeting students' expectations, that is, respecting students, is the first step to success. That's what I want to do here. To think, decide, and move forward together with young people while preparing them for the future. We know that, above all else, academia wants a free environment, and creativity can only develop in free environments. The minds creating the innovative inventions will carry us into the future, and what they need is education and freedom. Young people want a different world, I am aware. Research shows that young people consider doing what they love more important than the money they earn. I am aware that a strong generation is coming that puts freedom before wealth. This is my ideal as well. Mrs. Bulut concluded her remarks by reinforcing TİKAD's commitment to women's leadership on an international scale. In conjunction with our international colleagues, TİKAD will remain committed to women's leadership advocacy, working tirelessly towards building a better world, not solely within Turkey, rather part of an international movement which recognizes and values women's contributions in all fields. Mrs. Bulut also stressed how through supporting and integrating female perspectives into management strategies, more equitable and effective responses can be developed that may enable more equitable and effective responses to global challenges that might otherwise arise. Looking ahead, TİKAD is unwavering in its commitment to advancing women's empowerment and leadership. Mrs. Bulut champions her aim to build a world where women's leadership is the standard and their contributions are fully celebrated. For those seeking more information about TİKAD initiatives and events, reach out directly at info@tikad.org.tr. More details regarding their work can also be found online, http://www.tikad.org.tr. About TİKAD, TİKAD's mission is to take responsibility for the creation of women leaders in every field, the division of business women in the world of women in business, public opinion and governments, and Turkey's democratization process and integration with the modern world. Its vision is to increase its impact on the public by bringing together businesswomen and working women in line with professional leadership, and to contribute to Turkey's social and economic development and to explain Turkey's modern face to the world. Committed to the universal principles of democracy and human rights, respectful of freedom of belief and thought, and suprapartisan, TİKAD works to consolidate the status of businesswomen in the business world. Name, Mrs. Nilüfer Bulut. Email, info@tikad.org.tr. Organization, TİKAD. Address, Dikilatas Mahallesi Yenigalin Sokak No 6K A5D14. Website, http://www.tikad.org.tr